Greetings to all. Welcome to Future of Physics Academy. Today we are going to see the daily current affairs of 30th July. Now we are going to discuss the topics of Meghathodu project will ensure Kaveri water for TN even in the distress years, which comes under prelims fact. Next, we have to see about Defense Acquisition Council approves amendment to MQNB UAV deal with USA, which comes under same GS2 and also GS3, that is under governance and internal security. Next topic is Indian scientists build breakthrough gene editor or aiming for patent, which comes under GS3 paper under Science and Technology. Next, can state tax mining activities. So under this we have to know about GS2 paper under Indian polity. Next, Bohai Gulf. We have to know about this location and editorial analysis, and finally we'll see the mapping. So our first topic is about Meghathodu project will ensure Kaveri water for TN even in distress years. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddhar Mike emphasized that the Meghathodu Balancing Reservoir project would benefit Tamil Nadu during drought years, providing additional water by storing 65 TMCFT that would otherwise flow into the sea. So with this, first we have to know about the location. The Meghathodu Balancing Reservoir project is proposed to constructed across the Kaveri River at Meghathodu in Karnataka. The reservoir is designed to hold up to 65 TMCT million cubic feet of water. Now we have known the capacity. Next, the benefits to Tamil Nadu is it ensures water availability during deficient rainfall years, thus aiding lower riparian religions and preventing excess water from flowing into the sea during heavy rainfall years. Next, the current status of it. Despite the Karnataka's government push for the project, it has faced delays due to lack of permission from the center objects from Tamil Nadu. The political aspect is opposition from Tamil Nadu is seen as politically motivated with concerns about water sharing disputes between the two states over Kaveri River. So with this we have the UPSC question which have been asked in previous year 2022. Consider the following pairs. So they gave reservoirs and states. So Gatapradha in Telangana, Gandhi Sagar in Madhya Pradesh, Indra Sagar in Andhra Pradesh, Maiton in Chhattisgarh. How many pairs given above are not correctly matched? So the answer is C. So only one pair is correctly matched. So our next topic is Defense Acquisition Council approves amendment to MQNB-UAV. So why it is a news that Defense Acquisition Council chaired by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh approved amendments for procuring 31 MQNB UAVs from the US focusing on indigenous content. The council also approved proposals for an advanced navigation system for the army and 22 interceptor boats for the coast guard, enhancing India's defense capabilities. Now with this we have to know about MQNB HAL UAV. So the MQNB drone is the version of MQ-9 Reaper and has two models, that is Sky Guardian and Sea Guardian. It is built by the General Atomics. This drone can fly over 40,000 feet high, making it useful for watching the Himalayan border areas. It can stay in the air for up to 40 hours, perfect for long surveillance missions. The MQNB has advanced features like automatic takeoff and landing, a system to avoid other objects, secure GPS, and encrypted communications. It can offer 80% of manned aircraft capabilities at 20% of the cost per half. The deployment is the MQ-9B drones are planned to be deployed at 4 places including INS Rajaji near Chennai and Porbandar in Gujarat by the Indian Navy. The other two services will keep them jointly at 2 bases in Sarswa and Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh at Air Force bases due to the long runway requirement. Now what are the specifications and the procurement here? India is looking to procure 31 MQNB UAVs including 15 Sea Guardians and for the Indian Navy and 16 Sky Guardians, each 8 for Indian Army and Air Force. The Indian Navy has leased 2 MQ 9As with the maiden fight taking place on the November 21, 2020. The estimated cost is $3.99 billion. As a part of the deal, General Atomics will establish a global maintenance, repair, and overhaul MRO facility in India, contributing to offset obligations. Now, the significance of the deal is the Sea Guardian model can help the Navy patrol large areas more economically than manned aircraft. For the Army and Air Force, these drones will help monitor movements along the borders, especially with China. Now, the Defense Acquisition Council, DAC. So it was established in 2001 under the Ministry of Defense in India. Now its objective is to ensure expeditions procurement of the approved requirements of the armed forces in terms of capabilities, sought and time frame prescribed by optimally utilizing the allocated budgetary resources. The chairperson is the chaired by Defense Minister of India. The members include here Chief of the Army, Navy and Air Force, the Defense Secretary and other senior officials from the Ministry of Defense. It functions as to approval of procurement, that is approves capital acquisitions for the defense force. Next, the policy formulation it do is recommends policies to streamline defense procurement. Monitoring is monitor progress of major procurement projects. The importance is plays a critical role in modernizing and enhancing the operational capabilities of Indian Armed Force. The recent initiative is to emphasize on promoting Make in India in defense production and increasing indigenous content in defense procurement. So with this we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in the year 2018. So what is terminal high altitude area defense? Sometimes can see in the news. So they gave an Israel radar system, India's indigenous anti-missile program, an American anti-missile system, a defense collaboration between Japan and South Korea. The answer is C, an American anti-missile system. Our next topic is about India scientists build breakthrough gene editor are aiming for patent. So, the scientists at CSIR IGIB New Delhi developed an enhanced genome editing system using FN Cas9, so offering greater precision and efficiency than traditional CRISPR Cas9. So this advanced tool improves DNA editing and holds promise for therapeutic applications, including treating genetic disorders like Leber congenital amaurosis while aiming for affordable indigenous solution. With this, we have to know about CRISPR-Cas system. So it is a revolutionary genome editing tool adapted from a natural bacterial defense mechanism against viruses. Bacteria are CRISPR sequences to store segments of viral DNA, which helps them recognize and combat virus in subsequent infections. The most commonly used Cas9 enzyme is derived from Streptococcus pyogenes. So what their mechanisms is, they guide RNA Cas9 enzyme prospacer adjacent motif. Next, DNA repair. So these are their mechanisms. Their applications are seen in agriculture, healthcare, research, and also challenges with the traditional Cas9 also here. So SP-Cas9 can sometimes cut DNA at unintended sites, leading to potential unintended genetic modifications. Now, what are the development of enhanced genome editing system here? The FNCase9 demonstrated higher activity and precision in cutting target DNA and identifying single nucleotide changes compared to unmodified FNCase9. So in tests of human kidney and eye cell, enhanced FNCase9 showed superior performance with minimal off-target effects. Now the therapeutic potential is the enhanced FNCase9 was used to correct a genetic mutation causing Leber congenital amaurosis type, that is LCA 2. An inherited blindness. It successfully restored normal levels of the RPE65 protein in retinal cells derived from the patient-specific IPSCs. The precision of enhanced FN-Cas9 allows for potential use of therapeutic applications such as treating genetic disorders. Now, what are the future prospects of it? So, researchers are working on improving delivery methods and adapting the technology for broader applications. The team plans to patent the technology in India, aiming to develop affordable therapeutics for low and middle income countries and reduce reliance on the foreign license. So with this, we have the previous year question paper which have been asked in prelims 2019. So what is Cas9 protein that is often mentioned in news? A molecular scissors used in targeted gene editing, a biosensor used in accurate detection of pathogens in patients, a gene that makes plants pest resistant, a herbicidal substance synthesized in genetically modified crops. The answer is A molecular scissors used to target gene editing. Our next topic is about can states tax mining activities? So the Supreme Court has recently affirmed that states have the authority to levy taxes on mineral rights. This ruling clarifies that individual states can impose tax on extraction and use of minerals found within their borders. The decision is significant because it underscores the state's power to generate revenue from the natural resources, ensuring they can benefit economically from the minerals located within their territories. This ruling supports the idea that states that have a vital role in managing and profiting from their natural assets, which can be used to fund various public service and development projects. So with this, we have to see about the Supreme Court ruling on state taxation of minerals. The first is landmark ruling. On July 25th, the Supreme Court ruled that the states can impose tax on minerals in addition to the royalty levied by the center, affirming the principles of federalism and clarifying the state legislatures have the authority to tax mineral activities within their territories. Now, the case background we have to see. The case pending for over 25 years stemmed from a dispute between Indian Cement Limited and the Tamil Nadu government over the imposition of cess on mining royalties. So earlier rulings in India, Cement Limited versus State of Tamil Nadu 1989 and Keshavaram Industries Limited in 2004 led to conflicting precedents, prompting the issue to be referred to the nine-judge bench. Now, what is the royalty versus taxes? So definition of this is the Supreme Court clarified that royalties are contractual consideration. Royalties are contractual considerations paid to lessors for mineral extraction, while taxes are imposition. Taxes is royalty is contractual consideration. Tax is impositions by a sovereignty authority. Used for public welfare. Thus, royalties do not fall under the category of taxes on mineral rights as defined in the Constitution. Now, with this, we have to know about the state authority. In state authority, we have the constitutional power. Under entry 50 of the state list, states have the authority to impose tax on mineral rights, but this power is subject to the law passed by Parliament regarding mineral development. The court held that the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957 does not state power to levy taxes beyond the royalties. So Justice Nagaratna dissent says that Justice B.V. Nagaratna dissented, arguing that allowing additional state taxes could hinder mineral resources development and create unhealthy competition between states. She expressed concern that this could disrupt market stability and exploit pricing difference. So on July 31, the court will decide whether the ruling should apply retroactively or prospectively. Retroactive application could significantly benefit mineral-rich states, the West Bengal, Odisha, and Jharkhand, which have imposed additional tax on mining leases. So, with this, we have the prelims question which have been asked in 2019. With reference to the management minerals in India, consider the following statements. Sand is a minor mineral according to the prevailing law in the country. State government have the power to grant mining leases of minor minerals, but powers regarding the formation of rules related to grant for minor minerals lie in the central government. State government have the power to frame rules to prevent illegal mining for minor minerals. Which of the statement given is correct? So the statement answer is A. 1 and 3 is correct. Now we'll have the next topic of Bohai Gulf. So, UNESCO recently inscribed China's migratory bird sanctuaries along the Yellow Sea, Bohai Gulf Phase 2 to this World Heritage List. So, we have to know about the Bohai Gulf. It is the innermost gulf of the Yellow Sea, the coast of northeastern and North China. It is sometimes called Bohai Sea or Bohai for short. In earlier times, it was called as Gulf of Chile or the Gulf of Pechli. So it is approximately 78,000 square kilometer in area, and its proximity to Beijing, the capital of China, makes it one of the busiest seaways in the world. The Bohai Gulf is enclosed by Liaodong Peninsula and the Shegong Peninsula. Among the most important cities on the Bohai Gulf are Dalian and Tianjin. It shores from three of the most famous bays in the country: Liaodong Bay, Bohai Bay, and Liuzhou Bay. The Yellow River, China's second longest river, discharges into the Gulf. There are both onshore and offshore petroleum deposits, and several oil refineries are located there, as well as other industries. The key facts about the Yellow Sea is it is marginal of the Western Pacific Ocean. So under this we have to know about the location. So it is situated between mainland China to the west and north, the Korean Peninsula to the east, and the Shandong Peninsula and the Liaodong Peninsula to the south. It connects with the Bohai Sea of the northwest. Its size next. So also referred to the China as Huanghai and the North and South Korea as the West Sea. The Yellow Sea is 870 kilometers long and 556 kilometers wide. The depth is it is one of the largest shallow area of continental shelf in the world, with the average depth of 44 meters and maximum depth of 152 meters. The inflow is several major rivers including Yellow River and Yangtze River discharged into the Yellow Sea. So the islands we have the in Yellow Sea is dotted with numerous islands, the largest which is include Jeju Island, which is in South Korea, the Shandong Peninsula Island in China, and Ganwa Island in South Korea. The climate here is characterized by very cold, dry winters and wet, warm summers. So next the currents. The warm current of the Yellow Sea is a part of Tsushima Current, which divides near the western part of Japanese island of Kyushu and flows at less than 0.5 mile per hour northward into the middle of the sea. Along the continental coast, southward flowing currents prevail, which strengthen markedly into the winter monsoon period when the water is cold, turbid, and low salinity. So that's all from this topic. So we have the prelims question which have been asked in previous year, 2017. Golan Heights touches the boundary of which following countries? Syria, Jordan, Turkey, Israel. The answer is C. So 1, 3, and 4. Syria, Turkey, and Israel. Now we'll see the editorial analysis. Our editorial topic is the problem with India's blocking of the Chinese. So first we have to know why it is in news. India's business urgently need more visas for China technicians to address significant skill gaps in factory operations. Despite acknowledging the expertise of Chinese professionals, national security concerns have restricted visas, highlighting India's educational shortcomings and the need for foreign technical assistance to enhance productivity and global competitiveness. So the current visa and skill gap challenges is we have national security concerns and visa restrictions. Next, the skill deficit and the educational shortcomings. These are all the current visa and skill gap challenges. Next, the historical and comparative insights is they have the Chinese approach Korean model, Indian educational limitation. So these are the historical and comparative highlights which we have been seen under this. The future implication and recommendations are the economic impact, missed opportunities, need for reform also needed in future. In the evaluation of China and India relations, we have a timeline. So this timeline belongs from 1950 to 1960s. So, at first in 1950, we have India recognized the People's Republic of China and establishes diplomatic relationships. And in 1954, signing of Panchil Agreement emphasizing peaceful coexistence. In 1962, we have Sino-India War over border disputes. China wins decisively. Next, India-China relations post-war scenario is in 1959 to 1962. So, in this unilateral changes to the line of actual control leading to conflict, decades later, China claims Arunachal Pradesh as an integral part, straining ties. Next, India relations strategic distance from the year 1970 to 1980s. So, limited diplomatic and trade engagements due to mutual distrust. India closens the Soviet Union and China's stance against the USSR heightened tensions. Deng Xiaoping reforms from 1978 paved the way for economic growth and openness. So in 1980s, India-China relations have efforts of normalization. In 1988, India PM Rajiv Gandhi visits to China marks significant advancement. Agreements were signed to maintain peace along the border, working mechanism for consultation and coordination on India-China border affairs was established in 2012. So in 1990 onwards, we have economic cooperation rises as focal point, significant increase in trade and investment. In 2003, the relationship between India and China sees the specifically representatives mechanism established to address boundary question. The recent developments is in 2017, we can found that Doklam standoff leads to significant strain, and in June 2020, Galwan Valley clash results in casualties in both sides, intensifying tensions. Now, what are the challenges associated with India-China relations? The challenges are first the five-finger policy. Five-finger policy. Next, salami slicing strategy. Third, Belt and Road Initiative. Next, aggressive policies in neighborhood, debt trap diplomacy, India's important dependence, war dispute, South China Sea and India. So these are all the challenges associated with India-China relations. Now, India-China bilateral trade overview. So in bilateral trade overview, we have key trading partners and major imports from China are also seen. Also major export to China also seen largely. So Indian efforts to counter China's influence is used by the first is Quad, next INSTC, that is International North-South Trade Corridor. Next, the necklace of diamond strategy, necklace of diamond strategy. And finally, Indian Ocean Rim Association. So these are all the Indian efforts to counter Chinese influence. So that's all from the editorial analysis. Next, we'll see the mapping. Under mapping, we have the topic of important international borders. The international boundaries are the geographical borders of political or legal jurisdictions such as countries, customs, territories, and sovereign states. The process of the creation of a border is called boundary delimitation. Some international borders, such as those with a free movement area like the European Union, are thinly guaranteed and completely open. So 17th parallel South Vietnam and North Vietnam. So the 17th latitude from the equator divide eastwise North and South Vietnam. Next, the 20th parallel, Libya and Sudan. It is located the 20th north latitude, which is used to border between Sudan and Libya. 22nd parallel, Egypt and Sudan, that is the 22nd latitude north of equator, marks a major portion of Sudan-Egypt border. Next, the 25th parallel, Mauritian and Malay. The northmost section of Malay-Mauritian border is marked using this line. Next, the 31st parallel, Iran and Iraq. The 31st northern attitude mark the border between Iran and Iraq. It also demarcates border between the US states and Louisiana and Mississippi. Next, 38th parallel, South Korea and North Korea. The 38th parallel is used to demarcate the central part of the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. Next, the 49th parallel, the US and Canada. It is located 49 degrees north of the equator. Demarked after the Anglo-American Convention of 1818 and Oregon Treaty of 1846, it forms the international border between the northern USA and Canada. So to read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.